Do come in. This is my studio. So this is where I work. This is where I paint and make things. This is a longish, narrow space with a combed ceiling. So it slants away quite far at the back there. What I do in this room, in different parts of the room, is over here I paint because it's right beside a small sink that I put in myself. That is, I can't really be without because I paint in watercolour, so that's wonderful. And then this table here that I'm actually sitting on is a really important kind of intermediary space between where I do that painting and where I store things and make things. So the things that I store are, obviously I store artwork in drawers and in shelves like this, but also I store materials and objects. So some of them need to be seen and some of them don't need to be seen quite so easily. So they can be stored away in boxes. So I have that threads, twine, eyelets, all sorts of things like that are stored here and here. And then further up here, I have two worktops, so higher surfaces in front of a lovely round window, which has a completely different aspect, and where I can stand up and make things. And it's really great. And then high up, I've got books and more objects. And then on either side here, I've got typewriters. I use vintage typewriters because I'm really inspired by text. Text and plant materials. Here is where I paint. I get even light all day. So it means that things don't change too much. Because I paint live plants, obviously they change and they change over days, and I like accommodating that. But I would rather not have to accommodate different kinds of lighting. And the other thing I have here, is a little bit of wall space, so I can have drawings up of whatever it is that I'm painting, because that's always really nice to work between your preparatory sketches and your more finished paintings. Some other things that are really inspiring to me, and then some of the plant forms themselves in different states of decay, which I find incredibly inspiring. So painting things as they die is fine for me. In fact, really quite important. That strange beauty in something that's decaying is very compelling to me. Then over here, I have, for example, a sculpture that was made out of natural forms mixed with some man-made forms. So in this case, it's big thorny branches from brambles and polypropylene threads for a ladder. This is inspired by a poem by Emily Dickinson about pain. And so it's very interesting and unusual poem, a very short poem. And I've been playing with ladder forms a lot. And yeah, so then up here is where, as I said, I make things. The natural light of this round window is also, gets nice light late in the day. And I like to hang up things like experiments. This is an experiment with text that I made. And the translucency of the light coming through the text was something I was playing with. So having that window that I can reach more easily than the skylight is very, very useful. Underneath here, I've got natural forms in many different sort of states, just waiting to be used, either drawn, painted, or incorporated into a three-dimensional object somehow. And the kind of objects that I make are like that ladder, as I said, the sculpture, but also perhaps something like this. So seeing it in my hand probably helps you to see the scale of it. So this is an object made with bog cotton and various handmade papers and textiles and text, and it's inspired by a song because I was collaborating with a singer. So yeah, when I'm up here, there's a different kind of vibe. What I can do here is get books down from the high shelves lay them out on this table near where I'm working, and I kind of my sketchbooks, old sketchbooks and new sketchbooks. That's quite important because ideas in my work tend to resurface. So I'm not the kind of person who needs to go off looking for novel themes or new things to work on. I feel like I'm continually exploring the same theme or themes, and that it's almost like a thread that I follow, and it comes back like a refrain in a song or like the rhythm in a poem. It returns, and it's to do with decay, transience, and death, I guess. And yeah, this is what I can explore here in my notebooks, in my reading, in my making. And I feel that the studio reflects this, and that when we look at the objects in my studio, it really communicates.